This is the Jason Walker Show. Two-time National Sports Media Association Montana Sportscaster of the Year and three-time loser, the Jason Walker Show. The best local and statewide sports coverage, featuring the biggest guests from Montana.
Clint Rasmussen joining us here on the Jason Walker Show.
It's freaking exhausting, too. You used to dance a lot more. Yeah, I know, lady. I'm 51 years old now.
The NAI Hall of Famers, Mike Van Diest joining us here, Jason Walker Show. And is it just a deal where quarterbacks have to be good golfers?
Well, that's all they have time for. They don't work out. They don't lift weights. They don't do anything else. They might as well go get on the golf course and at least have some fun.
And from across the country,
Doug Gottlieb, our guest here on the Jason Walker Show.
End of the day, remember, it's your show. It's got your name on it.
Howie Mandel, our guest here.
Jason Walker, deal or no deal?
The Jason Walker Show, presented by Helena Accommodations. The in-town 5-star extended stay residences. Visit HelenaAccommodations.com. Broadcasting from the Major Mortgage Man Cave, here's Jason Walker.
Oh, happy Friday. We made it to the end of the week. We made it to the end of January. Can you believe that? I know it seems like we just had like Thanksgiving and Christmas. And now it's the end of January. Unbelievable. Big show coming up today here inside the Major Mortgage Man Cave. We're going to check in with the Hall of Famer, NFL Hall of Famer, Montana State Hall of Famer, Montana Football Hall of Famer. Jan Stenerud will join us coming up. And I remind him of a story that is a true story of how he helped me get my first set of skis. So that's coming up. We're going to check in with University of Montana women's basketball coach Shannon Schweyen as well. Big win for the Lady Griz last night. And a big game coming up tomorrow at Dahlberg. And we're also going to check in here in a few minutes with Sam Leep of Manhattan Christian, who set the state record last night. 14 three-pointers in a game. He was on fire. Or as Dan Patrick would say, he was en fuego. But, 14 of 19 from the three-point line. There were a few different records set last night, or tied. And we'll talk to Sam Leep of Manhattan Christian coming up here in just a few minutes. We're going to begin with the news, though, coming out of the University of Providence. And that is very cool. So yesterday we talked about Dave Gant moving on to a new role, the current athletics director or vice president of athletics. But he is moving on to vice president of student engagement. So in his place, the University of Providence today announced that Doug Hashley has been named the new athletic director. He starts February 3rd, which is Monday. Hashley's been the associate assistant athletic director for the Argos for the past 3 years. His roles included game day management, director of facilities, and the direct report for half of the athletic department teams. So this is very cool for Doug, Mr. Hashley. He's a great guy. Love the Hashley family, for one. Known Doug a long time, but this is fantastic for him and his family. And he said in a press release, quote, "I'm extremely flattered and excited to become the athletic director of the University of Providence around all the people that make this place great." Adding that with Dave Gant's previous tenure as the AD, he implemented a system of success that the UP Athletic Department reaps today. My desire is to continue working this model, challenging our athletic department to continue growth, end quote. So he still will report to Gant, who now, I mean, they combine athletics and student engagement, and it's kind of a weird deal, but Gant's still in charge, which is very cool. Two former Bobcats, by the way, great guys. Gant, of course, coached at Northern, Montana State, Gonzaga, who's been everywhere. Hashley spent the last 28 years before working at Providence. He was a teacher, stops in Livingston, Corvallis, Kalispell, was the head boys coach at Flathead in the 90s, was the head girls coach at Glacier, and the later part of the 2000, first part of the decade, or first decade, 2007 to 2010, how's that? He was an assistant for multiple sports at Flathead and Glacier as well. And, of course, his son Jackson, currently tearing it up with the Argo men's basketball team, and Steve Keller. His daughter Cassie most recently played at Carroll College, was unbelievable. The former Cassie Hashley, now Cassie Cosina, living in Nebraska with her husband Patrick and little baby. Another daughter played volleyball and in the Frontier. It's great. Hashley, Montana State, graduated in 1982. He's the currently second all-time rebounder in Bobcat history, 7th in the Big Sky still. Ranks 15th in all-time scoring in the Big Sky. He was first team All-Big Sky once, second team All-Big Sky twice, was in Scotland for a year, and was inducted into the Bobcat Hall of Fame in 2008. Love the Hashley family, like I said, and can't wait to talk to Mr. Hashley about his move into the AD role, which is great. All right, so last night there were some basketball games. There's some big ones tonight. But last night there were some games. Billings West on the boys' side came back from a 15-point deficit to beat Senior. Let's see. We'll talk about the Griz and the Lady Griz in a moment. Butte Central, big win on the boys' side against Anaconda. And Skyview Girls beat Bozeman. I think the Skyview Boys beat Bozeman as well. Brendan Howard, Zarin Richmond each had 26. MSUB got a big win. So MSU Billings Girls lost at Northwest Nazarene. But there was another game last night on the Class C front, and it was down in West Yellowstone, the southern tip of Gallatin County. And the top-ranked defending champ Manhattan Christian Eagles got a big win last night. They beat West Yellowstone 97-34. What's most impressive, though, is that as a team, the Eagles poured in 22 points. Or 22 three-pointers. As we're trying to watch some video, and it just froze up. Of course it would. There we go. Watching some video. If it doesn't keep freezing. There was 22 three-pointers for a team that ties a record in the state of Montana with 22. Melstone did it. Date was unknown. But they also got 44 points from Sam Leep. Overall, the Eagles, 22 of 42 from the three-point line. That's 52%, over 52%. They shot 51% for the game, 51.5%. West Yellowstone was 1 of 15. So combined, they were 23 of 57 from beyond the arc. West and Manhattan Christian. Josiah Amenrud had 19 points for the Eagles, including 5 three-pointers. But the story of the night was Sam Leep. And Sam Leep, again, this is going to freeze up and drive me nuts, but we're trying out a new thing today on the Facebook Live and YouTube. You can watch video now, and I can share it with you. This is courtesy of Huddle. But anyway, Sam Leep shot up 14 three-pointers last night, and he made 19 of them. Yeah, how about that? Got a chance to talk to him. He was 14 of 19 from the three-point line. He was... Now our video froze everywhere. Technology, it's a Friday. Thanks, Internet Company, for supplying us with unbelievable internet. All right, we're still live on the YouTube, Facebook, Podbean, Treasure State Radio, Network One Sports, I believe. We're not, but there you go. I'll get it on. All right. So anyway, what was I saying? Oh, Sam Leep. 14 of 19 from the three-point line. It's pretty impressive. Got a chance to catch up with him. Took him out of class. To talk to Sam Leep. And he joins us now on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline here on the Jason Walker Show. And all right, Sam, first off, congratulations. Sooners talk all the time about being in the zone, and I guess you were last night.
Yeah, got into a good rhythm and lots of good passes from my teammates, and yeah, just kept going all night, I guess.
14 of 19 from the three-point line. Did you know that you were making that many as you were going throughout the course of the game?
By the end of the third, I knew I had quite a bit, but I tried to stay focused too, because if you think about it, then you can. That's when you start missing more. So. Yeah,
but then you just shoot more to make more, right?
Yeah, I guess.
First off, I mean, I guess it's a big win for you guys as the defending state champs. So anytime you can set a record and do it in the moment when you get a win, that's more impressive, right?
Yeah, definitely. Great. We had a great game as a team too, tying the 3-point record as a team was super fun. So. Yeah,
22 threes as a team, and that ties Melstone from way back. They don't know when exactly, but obviously you're just feeding each other. You and Josiah Amenrud combining for 19 of the 22 threes?
Mm-hmm.
That's impressive.
Yeah, no, Joe had a good game too, and he's been playing well this year. And Caden's been setting us up all year, and it's been really fun. So.
This is your chance to shine, and this year as a senior, obviously a very good team coming back from the state champs from last year. But in a game like that from last night, Sam, as you're sitting there, what were your emotions like before the game? Did you know you were going to have such a good game?
I didn't really see that coming before the game. I was just excited to get to play, and then the game just started making them, and it continued throughout the night.
It definitely did. And I know people have talked about this that play the game of basketball, and if they feel like if they make every shot in warm-ups, it's not going to be a good game, or vice versa. How did you drill your shots in warm-ups?
I made a few. Yeah, I missed my first couple that I shot. So, but I definitely didn't make everyone in warm-ups. No.
So you're going to be trying to miss in warm-ups from now on? Is that?
Yeah, that's going to be the strategy.
14 threes. And what's even better about it, Sam, is you only shot 19 threes. I mean, it's a lot, but it's not like you shot 40 to get 14, right? I mean, this is awesome.
Yeah, no, that was pretty cool too, to be able to shoot that good of a percentage. You mentioned your guards getting you the ball, and obviously the offense sets you up to be able to succeed. And are you coming out? Were most of those coming off of screens, or in transition? What are we talking here? Well, they were in like a 1-2-2 zone, so we were swinging the ball really well, and then getting it to the high post, and then the high post was doing a really good job of looking to the corners. So that's how we got most of them.
So most of these came in the corners. How many did you make from the corners, the wings, and then the top?
I don't know. It felt like a lot from the corners, but I would have to watch the film.
Is that your best spot on the floor? Is in the corner?
I would say corner or wing, probably. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I could never make a corner shot. I was not good at it. I'd hit the side of the backboard.
Yeah, that's
How much practice do you do in the off season? How much shooting? I mean, we know the Larry Bird and Jimmy Chitwood stories from Hoosiers, but how much do you spend just shooting on your own in the summer?
I don't know. I do quite a bit. I don't do near as much as they did, obviously, but definitely got to keep working on it, and you can always get better. So that's kind of what I try to keep the attitude of. Definitely.
Making the Sam Leep joining us, Manhattan Christian, a state record 14 threes in a game last night and a big win. That was on the road too, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Well, that makes it even more impressive because you don't know that gym as well down there in the West.
Yeah, we only get to play there once a year, but it was super fun to do it there too.
Nice backdrop.
Yeah, it was. The walls were pretty close, so it wasn't like a space behind the hoop. So it was nice.
I like that, Sam. A couple final quick ones for you because I can get you back to class. But this is obviously an important season for the Eagles, coming off, like I said, the state championship. What's it going to take in the final month, regular season, and then districts, divisionals, and hopefully another state tournament?
Well, we're just going to have to keep doing what we're doing, but we can always improve on our defense and rebounding and all that. But just keep working and practice and getting better.
It sounds like a coach speak right there. You know the defense and rebounding is the key, but when you're making 14 threes, explain your shot to me. Like, is it just take me through your shot?
Well, I try not to, when I catch it, I try not to have a bad dip, and then I always look at the back of the rim, and then, yeah.
So you go off the back of the rim?
Yeah.
Okay, because some shooters go off the front.
Yeah, I used to look off the front, and then, yeah, just changed that, I guess.
What's your shooting percentage this year? Do you know?
Last time I checked, I was mid-40s from 3, I think.
Well, that was
49 now.
49 now. You're almost 50% on threes. Holy cow, Sam! Goodness gracious. Well, it's been a pleasure. I know you got to get back to class, but it's been a great time talking with you. School record or a state record, 14 threes, tying a record. Oh, this is the other thing. 44 points. I forgot to even bring that up. 44 points ties the school record too.
Yeah, that was another cool part. But
who did that? Did you tie with Caleb?
No, I think it was Matthew Emenrud from a couple of years back.
Oh, okay. That's a lot. That's impressive, man. It's super cool to set a couple of records. A team set a record last night with 22 threes, and continued success. What's the next game?
We got home game versus White Sulphur on Saturday.
The Hornets and the Eagles. Flying around Manhattan Christian there. Mm-hmm. All right, Sam. I appreciate it. Tell Coach thanks, and have a great rest of the season, and we'll talk to you down the road.
All right, thank you. See ya.
Sam Leep joining us on the Mike Miller State Farm hotline earlier today as he set a state record last night, 14 threes. So he had 44 points. 42 came from the three-point line. That's just, oh, man, talk about shooting. I'm going to try to share the video a little bit later, but of him lighting it up. We'll see if we can play it a little bit of it now. But he hit most of them from the corner, it looks like. So if you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube, you can see there's a wing three from the left side. Man, just getting it in stance and just dropping it. I mean, there's the high post to the corner, ready to shoot, boom. Unbelievable. 14 threes. That's awesome. Congrats to Sam Leep for that. And thanks to Jeff Bellich for helping set that. That's a deep three. Man. So anyway, great win last night for the Eagles of Manhattan Christian, and 22 threes as a team. Wow. Very cool. Appreciate Sam joining us here on the Mike Miller State Farm hotline. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking with an NFL Hall of Famer. Jan Stenerud will join us. Does he remember buying or helping me buy my first ski pass? We'll find out next. Jason Walker Show coming right back. Major Mortgage Man Cave. Have you thought about buying a home and just don't know where to begin? Well, when it comes to one of the most important purchases one can make, we understand it can be frustrating and confusing, but it doesn't have to be. Let the Major Mortgage team help you with all your mortgage needs. Major Mortgage means major service, and we would love the opportunity to help you today. Give J.R. McFadden, NMLS number 1246357, a call today at 406-465-1918, or you can visit him at 2001 11th Avenue, Building A, Suite 3 in Helena. Major Mortgage is a division of AMCAP Mortgage, NMLS number 129122, equal housing lender. Yes, it's true that Montana is a long way from the Gulf Coast, but you can bring that Cajun flavor home with a stop at Cafe Zydeco. From po' boys to classic sandwiches, Cafe Zydeco has all the best Cajun in town. Are you in the mood for seafood gumbo or crawfish etouffee? Maybe you're craving jambalaya with some shrimp and grits. Head in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or call ahead for pickup or delivery. Cafe Zydeco will fix all your southern cravings, even on a chilly Montana day. Cafe Zydeco is a proud sponsor of The Jason Walker Show. The holidays have come and gone, and now is a good time to treat yourself to what you really wanted. A full detail for your vehicle from Auto Concepts. Right now, Auto Concepts is offering a full detail for just $195. Or maybe you want to tint those windows. Auto Concepts does that too. Get that tonneau cover or bed rug you've always wanted and add in remote start, alarms, running boards, lift kits, toppers, winches, bug guards, grill guards, and much more. Check out Auto Concepts on Facebook or visit the website autoconceptshelena.com. Auto Concepts, the auto enhancement professionals. Everyone knows about Dinners Done Right and the convenience of the cook and carry cuisines. It's so easy to just stop by and you have something for dinner that night. But there's also one more thing you need to know about. Dinners Done Right Grab and Go Salad Bar. Yes, I said salad bar. Always the freshest ingredients along with a daily soup and nacho bar too. So the next time you are in a rush or you just want to eat healthy, stop by Dinners Done Right for the soup, salad, and nacho bar. For monthly menus and more info, it's dinnersdoneright.com.
Welcome back to the Jason Walker Show.
Welcome back. Jason Walker Show, presented by Helena Accommodations, the in-town 5-star extended stay residences. Visit HelenaAccommodations.com. Appreciate you watching on Facebook Live, YouTube, Podbean. You can listen there. Network One Sports, Treasure State Radio, and of course, you can always go to JasonWalkerShow.com for anything show related. You can also go down to the very bottom, sign up on our email list. We won't spam you. We won't sell your info or any of that nonsense. We just want to let you know what's coming up each and every week on the Jason Walker Show, so that you can sign up for that and maybe throw in a little Cafe Zydeco gift card if you do that. All right, so, and you can also email me anytime, jasonwalkersports@gmail.com. Find us on the Twitter, @JWalkerSports and @JasonWalkerShow. All right, so you got Super Bowl 54 coming up on Sunday. Oh, you got the 49ers and the Chiefs. Who wins? Go to Twitter. You can vote at Jason, or at JWalkerSports on the Twitter. And get your who wins, basically. I mean, it's simple as that. Who wins, KC or San Fran? So get your votes in there. And we'll tell you who wins coming up a little bit later on. I'm also going to tell you who I think will win coming up here in a little bit. But yeah, this is a good weekend. And the NFL released... it did its top 100. The NFL's 100 years old. Did its top 100 players of all time. 2 kickers were on that list. And one of them got his start at Montana State. He is an NFL Hall of Famer. He's in the Montana State Hall of Fame. And he's in the Montana Football Hall of Fame. And for a long time was the only kicker in the NFL Hall of Fame. His name is Johnston Stenerud. And he joins us now on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. A pleasure to chat with Jan. It is a pleasure to be chatting with you, Mr. Stenerud, the NFL Hall of Famer. And before I ask you some questions, I got to go back about 32 or 33 years to Bozeman. And you found out that this little youngster at the time was wanting to get his first ski pass. And you helped me out after, I think you donated some money to the cause. And I appreciate that because I became a skier after that.
Well, to tell you the truth, I can't quite remember that. I'm glad that I'm glad that happened.
It was a fantastic moment. No, I thank you because I became a skier after that, like I said, and not a very good one, but Jan Stenerud joining us here on the Jason Walker Show. I got to ask you, what's it mean to be watching your team this weekend in the Super Bowl?
Well, it's going to be very exciting. It's exactly 50 years ago since we played Super Bowl IV. And for people like you at your age, I don't know how long 50 years is to you. To me, it isn't that long. Sometimes it feels like it, and sometimes it feels almost like yesterday. But our team is really good. Of course, Mahomes is a great quarterback. I don't think I ever seen anything like him. And they're very explosive offense, as you know, and the defense is playing better. So we have a real good team. And, of course, we're playing a very fine team. The 2 best teams, I believe, actually are playing for the championship on Sunday.
What were your memories of 50 years ago, back at that Super Bowl?
Well, it was in New Orleans. It was before the Superdome had been built, so they played in Tulane Stadium. But it was a big stadium. It was 80 or 81,000 people, and it was packed. It was a cool day. It was only 42, 43 degrees, and we had tornado warnings. In the morning. It rained hard the night before. And even though this was the Super Bowl, when it rolled off the tarp the next morning, believe it or not, there were a lot of holes in the tarp, so the field was really muddy, and it was in bad shape. And I remember I was able to get a hold of the equipment manager and put the cleats on my left heel that were an inch and a half long, hoping that would hold up in the parts of the field that was pretty bad. And I remember having 3 field goal attempts in the first half, and 2 of them from muddy spots, but it worked out. But it was, by then, Super Bowl 4. By then, it had become the biggest single-day sporting event in America. The Packers and the Chiefs played in Super Bowl 1, and then the Packers beat the Raiders in Super Bowl 2, and then the Jets, the AFL team, beat the strong Baltimore team, the NFL. That was the NFL team, the AFL. Jets was the AFL. And then right before the merger, and this goes back before your time quite a bit, Jason, after the Chiefs played the Minnesota Vikings that day in Super Bowl 4, that was the last game between the AFL and the NFL. And when we won, I think it was very important to us not only win it for the Kansas City Chiefs, but also for the entire league. So it was very meaningful to us, but the Vikings were favored by almost 2 touchdowns the whole week because they were still the NFL, and we weren't quite on par with that supposedly.
Sure.
But to beat them, bad, and it's and enjoy it very much. Really talking about the Super Bowl championship, because Kansas City has been kind of been living on that for a long time, too long. It's been 50 years, so this is really exciting. It's really exciting for all of us.
Well, it's really exciting for me to get to talk to you because I grew up in Bozeman, and I remember the Stenerud Celebrity Golf Tournament that you used to do at Riverside all the time, and that was a lot of fun. Do you miss doing those?
Well, I'm sure if I miss it or not. But I say we started that in the late 80s. We raised money for athletic scholarships at Montana State, and I was really fortunate. I think the first guy that signed up, and I remember Stu Starner, the basketball coach at the time, he got hold of Bobby Knight, and he was one of the first to sign up. And then I called a lot of my friends, and I had several Hall of Famers from both baseball and football. I remember Bob Fella, this way before your name, and Otto Graham, and Chuck Bednarik, and we had Bart Starr, we had Steve Garvey, we had Harmon Killebrew. One year we even had Neil Armstrong. No, it was Alan Shepard. Alan Shepard was an astronaut. He had walked on the moon, and we had a tremendous lineup for many years. It was a big deal in Bozeman. I remember even Lawrence Taylor, but he was at the top of his game in the early 90s. He flew in from New York and stopped in Bozeman, and we had it was a fun. I think it was a fun thing for Bozeman. I think most people that played in that really had a nice time, and I remember Bob Costas and Musburger and Chris Berman. There were some of our master of ceremonies we had for the tournament, so it was fun.
It was a good time. Jan Stenerud joining us on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. You are in the Hall of Fame. You were the first kicker in the Hall of Fame, but now you, this last fall, were chosen to be one of the top 100 in the NFL 100. How special is that?
Well, of course it's special. It's it's almost like somebody said. It's almost like in a Hall of Fame within the Hall of Fame. But I didn't know that really they were going to have that. And I knew the league was 100 years old, of course. And in late October, I got a call from the commissioner, Roger Goodell, and he told me that he had some good news for me, and that we had that picked 100 players, a team that consisted of 100 players for the last 100 years of pro football. And he informed me that I was one of the kickers. And I found out later that they had picked 2 kickers, and the other one was Adam Vinatieri. And I think they picked 10 quarterbacks, I think it was 12 running backs, 10 wide receiver, a lot of defensive and offensive linemen. It all came to 100 people. And so I'm very flattered. I think that it all started kind of by accident in Bozeman, Montana, because Jim Sweeney really gave me the chance. The basketball coach, Roger Kraft, had seen me kick. I just kicked the football for the first time my junior year on the practice field. I played soccer as a young man in Norway. I was there on the ski scholarship. So, but Sweeney is the one that made it happen, and to think that was the thing it started. And then spending almost 2 decades in the pro football and the Super Bowls and Hall of Fame in this 100-year team. It's well, if I think about it, it's a lot of turns, a lot of things that wasn't scripted. I tell you that. Very fortunate. You're very lucky. Very fortunate.
How often do you get back to Bozeman and watch a Bobcat football game?
Oh, I get back there a couple of times a year. I still belong to Riverside. I enjoy Bozeman very much. That's where it all started for me. And it's a beautiful town anyway. Montana is my favorite state. So, and I try to catch the Bobcat game just about once a year anyway. And I still check on the Bobcat score every single Saturday. I've done that for over 50 years now and always will.
Wow. That's awesome. Jan Stenerud, our guest. Couple final questions. I know you're a busy guy down there in Miami. Who wins the Super Bowl?
I think the Chiefs will win, I think, 31-17. How's that?
I like that prediction. So what do you do nowadays? I mean, obviously you're retired, but how do you spend your days?
Well, the Midwest climate is, it's hot in the summer and cold in the wintertime, so we do travel a little bit in the wintertime to get to warmer climates because my passion is golf, although the last couple of years the game isn't quite as good as it should be, but there's a lot of golf in that time. And also, I guess people ask me that. I haven't really worked for 7-8 years after football for 20-some years. I was involved with a firm in Kansas City. I was a marketing director for a firm that designed stadiums and arenas in the NFL and Major League Baseball and also basketball arenas. So that was kind of fun to do. And now that I really don't do much, it seems like I'm pretty busy doing things, but I can't really tell you what that is. But the days go fast and enjoying life.
Well, it's been a pleasure to chat with you. Like I said, I know you're busy. You got a lot of stuff to do in the next couple of days down in Miami, but it's a true honor to chat with you. And if I can see you at a Bobcat game, we'll get you on the air again. But we need to go golfing. So next time you're up in Bozeman, let me know, and I'll come down to Riverside and go golfing with you.
Are you a better golfer than skier, or are you good in both, maybe?
Well, my wife skis now, and I golf now, but she gets me on the ski hill, so I'm a better golfer than I am a skier, but I'm still not good.
Well, I hope to run into you one of these days down there. Well, that'd be great.
I appreciate it. Enjoy Miami, and congratulations on the NFL 100, and it's been a great honor to chat with you, like I said.
Thank you. Absolutely my pleasure. Any chance to talk to people in Montana is my pleasure.
Fun. Oh, that was so much fun. Jan Stenerud, caught up with him yesterday. He had just landed in Miami. The NFL flew him down, him and his wife. So a lot of those pictures from the NFL Hall of Fame, some from Facebook as well, but appreciate Jan Stenerud. Thanks to Bill Lamberty, Sports Information Director at Montana State, for helping to set that up as well. Very cool. He mentioned in there, and on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline, he mentioned Bobby Knight and Stu Starner, and I have a great story that about Bob Knight and my first time meeting him that I'll tell you when we come back. Still to come, Shannon Schweyen will join us from the University of Montana Lady Griz. They had a big win last night, and we'll check in with her ahead of the Bobcat Grizzly games tomorrow, as we show some more footage from Jan Stenerud. But, it's not just a home or a car. It's the 5 hours that you just spent in the kitchen, probably today, maybe even tomorrow, mastering your epic wing recipe, and the 3-hour family road trip to the tailgate party, or maybe it's just across town. But while other insurance companies just see them as a bundle or combo, State Farm agent Mike Miller sees your home and car as the time and memories that you put into them. Mike understands what your things really mean to you, and he's here to help give you the protection that you and your assets deserve. Talk to State Farm agent Mike Miller in Helena today for your home and auto insurance. You can check him out on Facebook. And, Mike Miller State Farm. Appreciate you jumping on board. Also, all of our guests join us on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back, and I'll share my Bobby Knight story from the Jan Stenerud Celebrity Golf Tournament in Bozeman from over 30 years ago. That's next. This is the Jason Walker Show. Holidays have come and gone, and now is a good time to treat yourself to what you really wanted. A full detail for your vehicle from Auto Concepts. Right now, Auto Concepts is offering a full detail for just $195. Or maybe you want to tint those windows. Auto Concepts does that too. Get that tonneau cover or bed rug you've always wanted and add in remote start, alarms, running boards, lift kits, toppers, winches, bug guards, grill guards, and much more. Check out Auto Concepts on Facebook or visit the website autoconceptshelena.com. Auto Concepts, the auto enhancement professionals. Everyone knows about Dinners Done Right and the convenience of the cook and carry cuisines. It's so easy to just stop by and you have something for dinner that night. But there's also one more thing you need to know about. Dinners Done Right Grab and Go Salad Bar. Yes, I said salad bar. Always the freshest ingredients, along with a daily soup and nacho bar too. So the next time you are in a rush or you just want to eat healthy, stop by Dinners Done Right for the soup, salad, and nacho bar. For monthly menus and more info, it's dinnersdoneright.com. Have you thought about buying a home and just don't know where to begin? Well, when it comes to one of the most important purchases one can make, we understand it can be frustrating and confusing, but it doesn't have to be. Let the Major Mortgage team help you with all your mortgage needs. Major Mortgage means major service, and we would love the opportunity to help you today. Give J.R. McFadden, NMLS number 1246357, a call today at 406-465-1918, or you can visit him at 2001 11th Avenue, Building A, Suite 3 in Helena. Major Mortgage is a division of AMCAP Mortgage, NMLS number 129122, equal housing lender. Yes, it's true that Montana is a long way from the Gulf Coast, but you can bring that Cajun flavor home with a stop at Cafe Zydeco. From po' boys to classic sandwiches, Cafe Zydeco has all the best Cajun in town. Are you in the mood for seafood gumbo or crawfish etouffee? Maybe you're craving jambalaya with some shrimp and grits. Head in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or call ahead for pickup or delivery. Cafe Zydeco will fix all your southern cravings, even on a chilly Montana day. Cafe Zydeco is a proud sponsor of The Jason Walker Show.
Welcome back to The Jason Walker Show.
Beautiful Friday. It's been a nice couple of weeks. It's supposed to start getting cold across the state this weekend. At least colder, more seasonable. I don't know when we're going to get snow next. I'm okay with it, though. As long as you get the mountains snowpack, I'm fine down here. Shannon Schweyen, the head coach of the Lady Griz at the University of Montana, will join us coming up here in a couple of minutes inside the Major Mortgage Man Cave. Support for the Jason Walker Show comes from Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-belt grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. And appreciate Manscaped coming on board as a great sponsor. That's why Manscaped, by the way, have you ever nicked or cut yourself shaving? Manscaping, grooming. Well, Manscaped redesigned the electric trimmer. Lawnmower 2.0's proprietary skin-safe technology will not snick, it will not snag. Accidents are a thing of the past. Manscaped also has the Crop Preserver, the anti-chafing deodorant and moisturizer. You're putting deodorant literally on your armpits. Why not put it on the smelliest part of your body? You get 20% off and free shipping with the code WALKER20 at manscaped.com. Use the right tools for the job. Your balls will thank you. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code WALKER20 at manscaped.com. That is 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com. Use the code WALKER20, WALKER20. Valentine's Day is 2 weeks away, guys. You want to look your best for that special one. I'm telling you, get it done. Manscaped.com. WALKER20. All right, so before we get to Shannon Schweyen, I teased, we talked to Jan Stenerud, the NFL Hall of Famer, and he said his first, I thought it was his, a few years into this, but it was his first celebrity golf tournament that he had in Bozeman. And my family and I, we were living in Manhattan at the time. I was in 7th or 8th grade. I think 8th grade. And we got a tip that all the celebrities were going to be out at a restaurant in Manhattan having dinner. So we went out. my brother, my mom, my dad, and I sitting at a table, seeing Lynn Dickey, Len Dawson, just a couple that was just super awesome. And then Stu Starner starts walking over. Now, Stu and I had a pretty decent relationship. Went to the camps in Montana State, went to a lot of the games, and Stu used to call me Spud because I was short, still am, Spud Webb. But he called me Spud Walker. Anyway, so Stu starts walking over with this guy. And I'm like, my dad goes, that's one of the greatest college basketball coaches ever. And I'm like, who, Stu? And he goes, no. So Stu comes over, said, Spud, I want to introduce you to Bobby Knight. And I was like, oh, this is cool. Well, this is the year, this would have been the summer after Keith Smart's jumper to give Indiana the title, 87. So Stu sits down along with my family, and Bob Knight pulls up a chair as well, and he's sitting right next to me. So if you're picturing this, I'm here, and he's just off to my right. And we're talking. I don't even remember really what the conversation entailed, but the one thing that stands out, Bob Knight goes, you can eat all those fries? They haven't fed me all day. I was like, okay. So Bob Knight sat there and ate my French fries while we talked with my family. It was awesome. That's my Bob Knight story. Well, my first Bob Knight story. I've got another one too, but that's terrible. I got to interview him one time, which was cool. I heard he's living in Bozeman. I'd love to we should try to get him on the show. That'd be great. Don't forget to vote on our Twitter poll. Who wins the Super Bowl, San Francisco or Kansas City? You can go to @JWalkerSports. You can Facebook us as well if you want to let us know. But earlier last night, the Lady Griz got a very nice win at home over Portland State. And it was a pretty good game. And to join us now to talk about it is the head coach in her 4th season. A much-needed win for the Lady Griz last night. Taylor Goligoski, McKenzie Johnston, each with big games. And Lady Griz jumped out to a big lead, got it back, tied Portland State did. But the Lady Griz came away with the victory to improve to, 6-4 in Big Sky Conference play. And 11-8 overall. And joining us now on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline to talk about it is the head coach in her 4th season, like I said, the Griz Hall of Famer, Shannon Schweyen.
Okay.
Great win last night, Coach. Take me through it, your reactions, and just how the Lady Griz were able to overcome a very good Portland State team.
Well, first time around we played them, we felt like we got very similar shots and good ones at that, and they just didn't go down for us at all the first half. We got things cooking a little bit the second half there, cut it to 4 a couple times late, and then just couldn't come out on the positive end of it. And it was literally a swap of a game here. We got off to a great start. They struggled. Then they put together a good run in the second half and took the lead, and then we were able to answer with some big shots by our seniors down the stretch and pull away for the win.
You mentioned seniors, but one of those in particular, McKenzie Johnston, her and Taylor Goligoski combining for big points in that 4th quarter that really helped you guys get the victory.
Boy, they really did. Taylor came in, and as she's done so many times this year, just hit some huge shots for us, couple of threes, and then, with 30-some seconds left, hit a runner down the lane over the 6'5" girl, which was just kind of sealed the deal. And then McKenzie just hit a incredibly tough dribble jumper, and, that helped kind of separate us from them down the stretch.
It's been kind of an up and down roller coaster ride through the first half of the Big Sky Conference season. As you start out with that great start, stumbled a little bit in the last couple weeks, but rebounded with a great win last night. Now you head into the Cat Griz game. We'll talk about that here in a second, but obviously the confidence feeling a little bit better right now?
Yeah, you always want to head into these games feeling good. It's always nice to be going in with a win under your belt and a little bit of momentum. I think that even the losses we've had in leagues at Portland State's been a tough place to play. At Idaho, we easily could have come out with that one. And, Idaho State's a good team. They went down and played Montana State to the wire. So don't really feel like we've had a lot of bad losses at all in league. I think the league is very even this year again. So, but happy to have a couple wins and heading into this thing with, a little bit of riding a little bit of a high.
You've been around the Big Sky Conference a long time. Is this the most competitive and most balanced it's been in a long time?
You know, it seems like year after year, I would say the last 4 or 5 years, it's really been, top to bottom, incredibly tough. I don't think we've ever seen so many last place teams jumping up and knocking people off as we have maybe the last 4 years. Yeah, it's just, there are more and more young ladies out there playing sports at an early age and getting exposure. And then, so many more people are going the international route. And there's just a lot of great players out there. So you just don't see the dominance in the women's game. I don't think in almost any league anymore. A couple years ago, Oregon and Oregon State were at the bottom of the Pac-12, and now they're at the top. And, you look at the SEC, forever Tennessee was just untouchable, and that is no longer. It's just it's becoming across the board everywhere that there's just a lot of good basketball teams.
Shannon Schweyen, the coach at the University of Montana, joining us here, Mike Miller, State Farm Hotline. Coach, when you look at girls basketball and women's basketball as a whole, I like that what you just said, because there's not that parity. It's not UConn and everybody else, or there is that parity because of everybody getting better. It's almost like what the Big Sky had to do when you were playing and when you were an assistant. Everybody had to step up to the Lady Griz level, and I think they've done that across the country.
Yeah, I would agree. I would say that, so many more places are upgrading their facilities. They've taken strides to make sure that women have equity in their programs, and they're beginning to care about women's basketball. I would say that, a long time ago, there weren't that many programs that did. Mm-hmm. So that has helped, many programs have a chance to build something special.
Let's get your thoughts on Cat Griz. You played in a lot of these. You've coached in a lot of these. What's the emotion going to be like for these first-time, freshmen that haven't played in this and haven't played on this stage? And we know what the rivalry is all about, but what can you teach them about how to keep their emotions in check?
Well, I mean, as coaches, we always say it's just another game, and it is another game. It's a big one. But we just try to tell them as soon as that ball goes up, it's just like any other one, and we've got to, we always want to talk about playing with class and representing the students in a positive way. But all in all, it is just another game, and from start to finish, we've just got to compete and do the best we can do, and hope that we come out on top, because there are always bragging rights on who gets to win this one. But it is a big picture thing when you start looking at the conference and the overall situation.
As a coach, you get that, but as the longtime Lady Griz, I mean, this is a little different game.
Yeah, obviously they're leaguing right now, so to get a win here would be good, to be able to knock them off. They've had some close ones, winning in double overtime at Eastern Washington, and they had a semi-close one at NAU, but so it's not like they haven't been tested some as well. So we've just got to go out and do what we do best, and hope that we can defend them, and see how it goes. Hopefully our crowd will be a factor. Sure. I think these games are always, the environment is always so big, and to be able to feed off that as a home team is always a positive thing.
All right, so how do you stop the Bobcats?
Well, I mean, they've got a lot of weapons. I don't think there's any one particular person that, you can key on with them. They're very well balanced, and Squires is back healthy now and getting into the mix. So they've got, a good balance of shooters and inside game, and, we've just got to do the best to try to make the shots that they get contested, and then we've got to score on our end of it.
Shannon Schweyen, the head coach of the Lady Griz, joining us here. All right, so I got to ask you, being in Helena here, you've got a couple of Helena girls, one a freshman and one a senior, but let's chat about Kenzie, because she's been there through a lot with you and the Lady Griz, and she's just always been such a great leader, even when she had to step in as a freshman.
She has. She's been unbelievable. May go down in Lady Griz history as most minutes ever played. She's going to be right there for that award. And just a competitor every minute she's on the floor. She's a kid that leaves it all out there every time. She's progressively gotten better each and every year, and worked really hard on her game, on her fitness level. She's just an Energizer bunny out there playing 40 minutes all the time. And, she's a kid that if you had to pick somebody to be in a foxhole with, she'd be your partner because she's just going to give them hell till the end.
That is absolutely true. And, being over here, we saw her in high school win a state championship. Speaking of state championships, you got a freshman on your team that denied your kids state championships and Jamie Pickens. You go from being mad at her to coaching her, and she's been a force here her freshman year.
She has. She's a great competitor. Obviously, big competition in high school, being against those guys in volleyball, basketball, everything. But our daughters have, my daughter and her have been friends since they were little girls. So, we've been really tight with their family for a long time. And it's been a pleasure watching Jamie grow up and mature. And, I think coming into college, there was a lot of expectations on her. And, this year, our two post players have been having incredible numbers, and Jamie has really just bought into her role, and I think she's doing a great job contributing in the minutes that she gets, and she's continually improving each and every game, and I think she's got a bright future ahead of her.
Shannon Schweyen, the head coach of the Lady Griz. A couple of final questions real quick for you, Coach, but you're really good friends with Carroll College Women's head coach Rochelle Sayers. How much do you two swap info back and forth and knowledge back and forth?
All the time. We probably talk a couple times a week, I'd say, and every time I call her, she's going through the Starbucks drive-in. I don't know what the heck she does all day, if she ever logs in the office hours. But, I love that girl, and we run a lot of things by each other. I really respect her and seek out her opinion on a lot of things, and we share ideas, and it's just always nice when you're in coaching that you have someone you feel like you can bounce those things off, and I consider her one of my best friends.
She is a wonderful, wonderful coach and a great lady. Kobe Bryant's passing. What did that? How did that affect you as a women's basketball coach? And we saw his support of women's basketball.
Yeah, shocking. Number one, we were playing cards at our dinner table just that afternoon, and I've got a daughter who's going through ACL surgery, so she's kind of doesn't have a lot to do right now. So we play a lot of cards to keep our competitive spirits up. But I got the news sitting there, and as things started to unfold a little bit, I would just say as a mother of daughters, when I heard that his daughter was with him, I think that really hurt the most to me, just to imagine being, Vanessa and losing a child and your husband on top of it. And, Kobe, even at 41, had lived an amazing life, and that Gianna had not had the opportunity to do that yet. And seeing Kobe get involved in a women's game like he has, we'd be out on the EU circuit, and his Mamba team was at many of the tournaments, and just so neat to see someone of his caliber giving back to the women's game and taking interest in the women's game when so many other NBA stars don't take that time. So, just crushing to see somebody who was so committed to being the best he could be have his life cut short like that, along with all the other families and victims.
Yeah, it was definitely a tragedy on Sunday, and the emotions all week have been up and down. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. Yeah. Coach,
I think when you are on AAU teams and anybody who's been involved in travel basketball or travel hockey or whatever it is, when you fly or when you drive or you have other kids in your car, there's just always that feeling of responsibility. And I mean, I know I've given a lot of kids to tournaments and things, and always had that on my mind, about if something happens, you have other people's lives in your car and your vehicle. And, that's something I think so many of us identify with that are in sports like that.
That's very well said. Coach Schweyen, the head coach of the Lady Griz, joining us. Final question. Let's end on a light note. Who wins the Super Bowl?
I'm going with Kansas City. I just not a big fan of either, but that's my pick.
So who's your team?
Oh, I'm a Cowboys fan from my dad was a big Cowboys fan growing up, so that's kind of been my team.
Yeah, mine too. It's been a long drought.
Yes, it has. Changes now. We'll see what happens.
Well, as growing up as a Bobcat and announcing for the Bobcats for a long time, it was always a pleasure to watch you come to Bozeman and watch you on the bench. And always been a big fan of the Lady Griz, despite being a Bobcat. Coach Selvig was classy, you're classy, and I appreciate it, Coach. And hopefully we can chat soon.
Sounds great. Thank you so much.
Shannon Schweyen joining us on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline, and the Lady Griz and the Bobcats tomorrow at 2 at Dahlberg, and then the men's game tomorrow night at 7, also at Dahlberg Arena, over there in the Garden City, and should be a couple of great games. You got 4 amazing coaches in those games now with Shannon Schweyen, Tricia Binford, Denny Sprinkle, Travis DeCure. So, unbelievable. All right, so real quick, our fans vote on the Twitter page. San Francisco is going to win the Super Bowl. 64 to 36% is your final vote tally on that. Interesting. Let's see, what else is going on? Oh, on this day in history, let's get to that. 1920, the Quebec Bulldogs and center Joe Malone, he set an NHL record with 7 goals in a 10-6 win against the Toronto St. Patrick's at Quebec Arena. 1923, the Montreal Canadiens beat Hamilton Tigers 5-4 at Mount Royal Arena. It was the first penalty-free game ever played in NHL history. How about that? 1924, Irma Szabo of Austria won the ladies' figure skating gold, the first, and it was the only women's event at the first Winter Olympics in France. 1988, Super Bowl 22. San Diego, Washington beat Denver 42-10. 1991, or 93 rather, Super Bowl, whatever it is, at the Rose Bowl, Dallas Cowboys beat the Buffalo Bills 52-17. Troy Aikman was the MVP. 2000, a fight between Ray Lewis and his companions, along with another group of people, resulted in the stabbing death of 2, and Ray Lewis was indicted 11 days later on murder and aggravated assault charges. He was not convicted on anything. Happy birthdays. There are 3 big birthdays today, all related to baseball. 1919, Jackie Robinson was born on this date. Of course, we know his history. Was born in Cairo, Georgia. 1931, Ernie Banks, Mr. Cub, Let's Play 2, was born on this date in Dallas, Texas, and spent all 19 of his years with the Cubbies. And on this date, 1947, American Baseball Hall of Famer, and a record that'll never be broke, 2 of them. Strikeouts with 5,714, and no-hitters with 7. Nolan Ryan was born on this date, 1947, in Refugio, Texas. I have no idea if I pronounced it right, but it looked good. All right, let's do, hold on, I gotta turn that up. I love this music. Boom.
We're almost at the end of the show. What did we learn? And what did he miss? Time for the walk-off.
Oh, walk-off. There you go. Presented by Cafe Zydeco. Make sure you stop by this weekend. Closed on Sundays, but make sure you stop by tomorrow from 9 to 3 and get breakfast, lunch, dinner. It is going to be fantastic, whatever you get. Get something to go, and then maybe get it for Super Bowl. How about that? Cafe Zydeco is at 625 Euclid, and we appreciate them. All right, so the walk-off, what did we learn today? Doug Hashley is the new athletics director at the University of Providence. That is awesome. Congrats to him. Had a great conversation with Sam Leep, who set a state record last night, 14 of 19 from the three-point line. He had 14 three-pointers. That is a new record in the state of Montana. He also tied a Manhattan Christian record with 44 points. We talked to Shannon Schweyen just a few moments ago. Big game coming up tomorrow for the Lady Griz and the Bobcat women. Bobcats leading the league. I think they're 8-1, maybe 9-1, but they have just a 1 league loss. And then get the music going here. Jan Stenerud joined us. That was awesome. NFL Hall of Famer, Bobcat Hall of Famer, just an all-around great guy. Appreciate him joining us. Next week, big shows coming up. We're going to talk to Miss Rodeo, Montana. Katie Lynn Krause will be in studio. We're going to talk to Bailey LaFawn of MLB. And Megan Harrington, former Lady Griz. We'll talk about the house that Rob built. More on that next week. Looking forward to it. Have a great weekend. I am going to pick Kansas City because as a Cowboys fan, I cannot pick San Francisco. So go Chiefs. Andy Reid, by the way, used to coach in the Big Sky. Yeah. Did you know that? And good luck to Mike Person with the 49ers, former Bobcat. We'll see you on Monday at 4.
The Jason Walker Show is produced by the Jason Walker Media Company. Any reuse, rebroadcast, or retransmission without the express written consent of the Jason Walker Show is strictly prohibited. Just listen, watch, and enjoy.